Hi everyone, this is Fake Hair Mama. Today we're going to be discussing some more about the paleo diet, going into more detail, and also discussing why the paleo diet is not only a diet, but also a lifestyle. You're not just going to be focusing on your diet, you're also going to be focusing on basically on self-care, which a lot of us are not really good about, and me included. So all these need to work together to balance your body out, to rest your body, and for your body to heal. So if you have any autoimmune conditions, arthritis, or colitis, or in my case eczema, and I also have a Lyme disease and mold toxicity, so trying to recover from those and to help your body heal, you need to be doing it all as a whole. And one of those things is making sure you get enough sleep, at least 7 to 9 hours a night, setting a regular bedtime, and just putting the phone down, putting the electronics down, and getting that rest, just so your body can recover from everything you put it through during the day. Exercise is important, but you're not going to be doing real hard cardio. I mean, you can be doing house cleaning, for an hour. Heavy house cleaning, well, you're still burning calories. If you have any autoimmune disease, you don't want to be overdoing it. You don't want to be like running several miles a day or that kind of thing. You just want to do low intensity exercise. So there's a point where you're stressing your body more and doing more harm than good. And your body can't recover because you keep stressing it out basically with exercising too much. So exercise is important. You want to move every day, whether it's, yoga or going for a walk or doing some gardening and that kind of stuff. And stress relief is also a big part of this, and saying no is hard for a lot of people, and it's something I think for me has come with age, especially when it comes to work. I think I'm at this point, I'm not going to be doing overtime or, overextending myself. And I know it can be very difficult, especially when you have children. You're being pulled in many different directions and you want to do everything for everybody and be everything for everybody, but you're going to pay for it in the end. Believe me. So another thing that can be stress relieving is yoga, gentle stretching. For me, that's very relaxing, or just taking a bath with Epsom salt in it is just that magnesium soaks into your skin, and it's just very calming and relaxing. Another thing that I want to do this year is meditation. I have done it in the past, but not consistently. But when I have done it, it is so relaxing. It just brings a calm all over your body, and whether it's for 5 minutes or 15 minutes out of your day, there is an app that you can put on your phone, and I believe you can access it as well on regular laptop, Insight Timer, and I'll leave a link down below. They have a lot of free meditations, and there's also ones that you can buy, and I just use the free ones. And you may need to poke around a little bit. There may be like one person that doesn't do it for you. And there may be one person that, their voice is really soothing to you, and they're just, going through some gentle breathing with you and imagery and that kind of stuff. And it goes a long way to help you take care of yourself and to face the challenges that every day brings. And just practicing gratitude. Every night, as I'm laying down and getting ready to go to sleep, I just kind of review the day and think of everything that I'm grateful for. Even though you've had a crappy day, there's got to be something that you're grateful for that day. And that just really changes your focus, kind of turns around the negativity in your life, and again helps you deal with the everyday stresses that you're going to come across. Some people find it helpful to have a gratitude journal and actually write down, the things that they're grateful for. That's not really for me, but so everybody's different. These are all, not saying you have to do all of these things, but these are all things that can help you with stress relief and just help your body to heal with the autoimmune protocol. And also just trying to get outside every day in the fresh air. Trying to be out in nature if you can, even if it's a city park. It's just very, there's been studies that it's just very relaxing and soothing just to be outside in the trees and hearing the birds sing. And some people call it forest bathing, but it also is very stress relieving and just kind of resets your mindset. So just getting out and trying to do that every day. I know it's not possible for me to do it every day, but I try to be outside at least 3 days a week, 3 or 4 days. So let's get down to the diet part of this, of the paleo lifestyle. You're not going to be eating any processed food, and this may be a big change for you if you're used to relying on these kinds of foods, frozen dinners and, macaroni and cheese with the powder and whatever, those kinds of meals that you're throwing together. It does take some planning, and you're not going to be eating out. I mean, eventually you will be, but you will have to pay attention and ask questions like, what's involved in cooking process or the ingredients of certain foods that the restaurant is making. And so mostly you're going to be cooking at home. And I find for me, when I am making a dish, I make a large portion of it. So I have enough to bring to work through the week, and maybe freeze some of it for those emergency situations where you just don't feel like cooking. So I like to have like 2 or 3 dishes going that I've made a batch of. And, whether you want to do it all on the weekend and have all your meals prepped for the week, or maybe a couple days a week, couple evenings a week, you'll make something then. Whatever works for you. So with meat, they prefer that we look for meats that are grass-fed or pasture-raised or hormone-free, and of course those are more expensive. So for me, I can't afford those all the time, and especially nowadays with prices increasing anyway, it's getting more difficult to afford the better quality meats. But with the grass-fed meats, grass-fed beef, I have been getting my hamburger from Walmart. They do have a little section in the meat section for grass-fed hamburger, and the 80-20, the 80% and 20% is just under $5 for 1 pound. So for me, that'll make a big dish, and I'll be able to eat it over a few days. Sometimes Tim will eat what I make. Sometimes he won't. Sometimes if we're having chicken, I'll have the side dishes that I can have, and I'll have the chicken as well. So there are ways to work around it so you're not solely like cooking just for yourself and then the rest of your family. You can also, be introducing new foods to your family as well. But you can make your work around side dishes and do like the basic meats that your family will eat, and then you can add whatever you can have. The grass-fed meats are more important because they have 4 times the omega fats, the healthy fats, that a regular hamburger would. And of course, any wild game is awesome. So if you're a hunter, or if you know a hunter, then you can definitely use that meat, fill your freezer with it, or just sourcing some local farmers that are growing meat that is grass-fed, and maybe you can get a better deal through them than buying in bulk. And if you are, if you have to buy regular meats, buy meats that have less fat in them, because the fat is what tends to hang on to the hormones and the antibiotics and that kind of thing that they treat the animals with. And also at my grocery store, Hannaford, they have Nature's Promise meats, which are more natural or hormone-free. But about once a month, they'll have like 25% off chicken, or 25% off the beef ones, or the pork. So when it does come on sale, I'll stock up then, and so I'll have some in my freezer for the rest of the month. And if you are buying deli meats, for instance, ham or bacon, you want to look for uncured meats where they're not adding all extra chemicals to preserve the meat. They don't have as long of a shelf life, but you can freeze them. I'm not sure about the deli meats. I don't know if the texture would still be good though after it was frozen. But I know our deli does. They do have a couple selections for uncured meats if you really want that kind of stuff for a sandwich or whatever. And for chicken, chicken mainly has omega-6 fats, which you don't want to have too much. You want to have a good balance of the omega-3s that you get in fish and the grass-fed meats. So you can have some of the omega-6, but not chicken every day kind of thing. And again, you want to look for ones that haven't had any antibiotics or any hormones. And I find if your store sells Purdue chicken, all of their chicken has no antibiotics and no hormones. And I know Walmart does carry that brand, and it's usually like $1 more a pound, but so that's not too bad if if you want something healthier. And of course, seafood, fish, wild caught preferably. And I try to stay away from farm raised, especially if it's not from the United States. Then there are some questionable practices out there, and you don't know the growing conditions, basically, that the fish was raised in. And so vegetables, we are going to be eating lots of vegetables, but we're going to be avoiding legumes like peas and any kind of beans, chickpeas. Initially, now this is just initially, no nightshades. Nightshades are like bell peppers, tomatoes, regular potatoes. You can have sweet potatoes, chili powder, and that kind of stuff. So these are things that you may, after your system has calmed down, you're gonna be adding these things back in one at a time, and that'll be a separate video, reintroduction, what to start adding in first, second, and then last. For vegetables, it's definitely cheaper to buy frozen. If you have a large freezer, then you can stock up with those. But I did find at Shaw's, some of their frozen vegetables have added salt. I don't know why they need to add salt, but just something to watch out for. You should just have whatever vegetable it is in there. Fruits, you can have 2 or 3 a day, and usually I'm buying whatever is in season to save money, or on sale. Sometimes the berries will come on sale during the winter. They're usually from another country, and sometimes the flavor is not always the best, or they may be a little bitter. And again, you can buy frozen. I buy frozen blueberries all the time for my smoothies in the morning. And yeah, those are always good. So for fats, you're going to be focusing on healthy fats. You can use avocado oil, coconut oil, palm oil, red palm oil, olive oil, and bacon fat. Yes, bacon fat. So I usually just save the bacon fat from the uncured bacon, so I know that it's a better version of it, I guess. But you can use that in your cooking, and it gives, of course, gives everything great flavor. And canola oil and other seed oils can cause inflammation, so that's why we're avoiding these. We're not going to have any nuts or seeds initially, and when we're thinking about seeds, it also includes like black pepper, because that comes from a seed, or mustard. We're not going to have any grains, no wheat, barley, corn, or rye, but there are some other versions that gluten-free, like flours and stuff that you can use in your cooking and baking, that can be alternatives. No eggs, but some people say that the egg yolks might be okay. I'm allergic to eggs anyway, but if you're not, then and the only reason all of these things that we're eliminating, they've been known to cause inflammation in a lot of people, so that's why we're eliminating them initially and just letting everything calm down in our bodies, at least for 30 to 90 days, and until everything's calmed down. And then when you feel like your symptoms have disappeared, then we can start reintroducing and seeing how we do with the reintroductions. It's initially, we're not going to have any alcohol. You can have occasional alcohol after you've been in remission, but again, alcohol has been known to open up those junctures in your gut and cause leaky gut, which adds to the autoimmune response. Probiotics, you'll want to add some fermented foods, some sauerkraut or other fermented vegetables. And these are the other spices that come from a seed that we're going to be avoiding. Initially, I already mentioned the mustard and the black pepper, but also celery seed, cumin, nutmeg, and dill seed. So It could take up to 6 months to heal for some people. I mean, if you're really in bad shape, if your joints are really hurting, or if your other autoimmune symptoms are really distressing, then it could take more time for everything to calm down. But you should start seeing a gradual improvement. And like I said, for me, I also had weight loss because I wasn't eating junk. I used to be literally addicted to cheese. And I don't think I mentioned, we're not doing dairy. But so I use coconut milk in my coffee and some of my baking. And coffee is another one that some people will eliminate initially because that can also contribute to a leaky gut. Some of these things I've added back in already, but I've got a long way to go as far as reintroducing some foods. My eczema tends to really flare up in the winter, and I have yet to figure that out. And I was planning on doing a detox this January and just basically going back to the basics and just doing that for a few weeks. And then I got COVID. So I guess that was my detox, because I basically couldn't eat anything for like 2 or 3 days, and I still can't really taste anything. But so I hope this was helpful for you. This is definitely doable. It's definitely a lifestyle change, but it'll be for the better. And it'll be easier if you have the support of your family. And my husband is, on board because he's seen the improvement in my health. And I still have a ways to go, like I said. But the weight loss has been huge. I've been able to get off my blood pressure and cholesterol medications, and overall just feel much better. So let me know if you have any questions, if you have any comments. I'll leave a link down below to, this is my favorite paleo book, The Paleo Approach by Sarah Ballentine. She also has a great website. I will leave a link down below to that. She has many recipes on there, and she always has tips on reintroductions, or even if you just have questions about certain aspects of the paleo approach. And she also, if you sign up for her emails, will send you like a weekly newsletter with updates. She's also working on a new program called Nutrivore, and she is just like, she's a scientist. And so she is figuring out the nutrition score in all the foods, and so you can choose, even narrow it down further, which foods you want to choose to improve your health. And also with the meats, going with the nutrient density that we've been talking about, you're going to want to add liver and bone broth. And it's very easy to make your own bone broth. Of course, you can buy it over the counter, but it's definitely more expensive to do it that way. And I have a couple of recipes, like especially I have a meatloaf recipe that is really awesome. It's got liver in it and beef and pork, but you really can't taste the liver. It just really adds, the whole thing is just so savory and awesome. So I'll be sharing those recipes with you as well. And thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Please share and like this video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. See you next time.